Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday morning. It's only like, I don't know, 9:30. Um, it's already 86 degrees. The heat dome is coming down on us here in New Jersey, as well as the rest of the country. I can hardly speak because as I stand out here and harvest, and I'm so grateful, I can't help but feeling just this sense of anger that we caused this heat dome. So I'm feeling just a little shook right now as I'm frantically pulling stuff off of the vines just so it doesn't split because the heat's going to be so bad. And I can tell by the way the wind is blowing that a terrible storm is going to come through today. I hope the earth is kind and gives us a gentle rain instead. I have 3 baby birds suffering in a nest in my yard, and I don't know what to do because they're just almost old enough to fledge, but they're not quite, and they're panting and suffering because it's too hot for a robin to lay its eggs now. This is too hot. Why is she so confused? Those 3 baby birds go down. I already lost the one that I nurtured. I don't know what happened to it. It just vanished. It was good. All 4 of them were in there. I was monitoring them. I came out a little while later and it was just gone. And I suspected she took it and removed it somewhere because somebody had to be sacrificed in order to save 3. I knew 4 was too many, and I should have known better to pull the egg before it hatched and let it cull it before it actually took a breath. And before I held it in my hands and caressed it, told it to hang in there. I think this is just the beginning of it, you guys. This is just the beginning of what we're going to go through. People are losing their cattle. People are losing their crops. Do we think this is going to just magically fix itself? Because it's not. And we can learn to grow food and we can have these gardens. We can do it. You can do it. But if the earth is too hot and the water's 101 degrees in the ocean, do we really think that we're going to survive this? People are having children in this climate. What will it be like? It's going so fast. It's like Willy Wonka's steamboat going through the chocolate factory, and there's a bunch of Oompa Loompas just turning the gears and making everything go so fast, and before you know it, you're watching your life in fast forward. And now the earth is angry, and I can't say I blame her. I'm just in her way, so whatever happens today, I can only pray, because we're small, that it will go right by us. So I'm going to go back out and harvest more. I'm so grateful right now. I don't really have a place to put all this food. It was too soon for it to come off the vine. But I'm going to go back out and get what I can. I had a doctor's appointment today because I'm in so much pain. But I had to cancel it because I knew I had so much to do here and the storm is coming and I'll be a frantic mess by the time I get to the doctor's appointment, worrying what's happening here with my baby birds in the garden, and it will cause me more anxiety and tension, and I'll be in more pain just from the anxiety and the tension and potentially driving home in a terrible storm. So I'm just going to stay home and do self-treatment, and I know I always say I'm going to do self-care, but I never do, and so today I know I have to do it. I'm turning the curtains dark in the house. We're putting the air conditioner on. I'm going to do very little processing today, and I'm just going to try to collect myself and get through this. And I have to reconnect with myself spiritually because I feel, I just feel a certain way. So a lot of these under here are my sauce tomatoes, but it's too hot to run the oven today. I mess with canning, so I pull on a bunch of Thornburns and Dr. Witchies. I got a whole other big load of carrots here, all Roma tomatoes in here, and a few cucumbers that are so misshapen because the vine borers and the pest pressure is so bad this year, the cucumbers just can't hang. So I thought I did something wrong, but I'm hearing all sorts of people are having problems with cucumbers and melons this year. I'm just a wreck. My nose is running. I'm sweating so bad. I've got cicada killers hitting me in the head. The hotter it gets, the more hostile they become. And I sit here in the shade of my beautiful flowers, and all I can think about is those baby birds. And I have to hope that if it feels this good just being in the shade of my tomatoes, that the shade of the tree that they're in and they're up against the fence, that they're not going to suffer. If they hit the ground in this yard this soon and they can't get to cover, they're going to die. I really can't have that on my conscience. So I gotta I got to get over it, and I have to let nature take its course. I know. I really don't want to pull these Dr. Witchies. They're so beautiful and pristine, but it's going to be so hot in a little while. I know that once they get totally hot and the rain comes, they're going to crack. So I think I'm just going to pull them and keep them in a cool place. Farmer John is working from home today, so I got to see if I can try to get him out here and harvest some of these blackberries because they're starting to drop off. So I don't know, maybe I'll just do it, just make sure it gets done. Everything is too precious to just let it go to waste at this point. So a little bit of a break back here. Oh my God, I must see, I don't know, 30 eggplants. All of my Grappoli di Invernos and Borghesi's have toppled over. My Chadwick cherries have toppled over. They're just so stressed. I'm going to do things different next year if I live to see that day. And we have to think about how we're doing things, you guys. We have to consider what we're doing as human beings on this planet. We absolutely have to. We have to. They're saying it's not too late. But I don't know. I've got some mortgage lifters forming here that must be a pound. They're a little crowded. Once I see even a tiny bit of blush, I'm going to have to relieve this plant because they're really packed in there tight. What a big producer. Dr. Witchies has been wonderful. So these two plants here were an afterthought because I had too many, and it's turning out that they're being two of my best producing plants. Hope they don't blow down today. My orange flush melon is actually growing. I am very encouraged by that. Lots of little babies on here. Oh look, there's a nice size little melon there. I've got some more purple green beans I have to dig in here. The corn is somewhat, parts of it are ready to be harvested. I just got a couple zucchini, and I got to get in because I'm getting seriously overheated. Wow, the cucumber plants are really taking a beating this year. Oh my goodness, I feel like this is a combination of so many things, of vine borers, of mosaic, of just pest pressure, different pest pressure. I had stuff I planted that just never grew. But the zucchini did well. That's the original plant. It had very little pruning this year. It just had massive harvesting, keeping the plants off of it quickly. But I got a bunch of big tomatoes off, but I'm going to change a lot of things. My cherry tomatoes are all collapsed. So I'm back here on the rocks right now. I'm telling you, it's got to be 110 degrees back here. I want to stand here and look at the beauty that my different varieties of cosmos are finally coming up. I have some huge Hungarian hearts back here on the vine still. This canopy is now doing well. If we can get through the next 3 days and this canopy holds up, we'll still have tomatoes for the fall. My white borage is finally starting to open. I've been waiting and waiting for this. The cosmos went bonkers, which is our fault because we didn't keep it in check. But while everything is so beautiful right now, it's a disaster. This is not the way we normally keep our garden. Look at the size of this Amish paste tomato. It's cracked. I don't know. I might pull it. I think I don't want it to crack any further, so I have so much stuff I pulled today. But look at the beautiful purple basil. I mean, you come out here and you see things where, you know, it seems like a disaster. You're getting attacked by bugs, other things are suffering, and then other things are just doing so extraordinarily well. But this is the story of being a gardener, everyone. This is it. If you haven't started it yet and you're ready to venture off into the unknown and you want to have anything bigger than this, please think about what you're doing and whether or not you can keep up on it. Because one day of saying, it's July, I've had it, I'm over the garden, you'll lose months and months and months of potential food. And I'm standing here, just walked up on this giant ear of corn. Look, here's my hand. This is a big, giant ear of corn. It's almost formed at the top. We have to start pulling it. So this heat's gonna do a number on everything now. Well, okay, so this took me at least an hour to collect everything. I'm toast though, I'm not just toast, I am fried. I am absolutely fried. So now I'm gonna drag everything in. I'm gonna try to get the house as dark as I possibly can. Get the air conditioning going. I mean, you know, you gotta worry about power outages and everything. I mean, there's so much to worry about with this kind of heat dome. So listen, you guys who are already going through it, my friend Dusty, I talk to you all the time. I think about you every day, Dusty. On a day like today, hearing your stories, wow. But you keep doing it and you motivate me, girl. I hope I motivate you guys too to understand that if we're struggling as backyard gardeners, and even people with more experience who have acres of land and they're doing it in hotter climates, and people are struggling, if you think we're struggling as individuals, imagine what the farmers are going through. And now with the ocean being 101 degrees in places, just because you can't say just because it's 101 degrees in Florida that's not going to affect the rest of the ocean. Oh, it will, and it may not happen immediately, but one big round of bleaching coral affecting the fish and everything that makes the ocean alive. I mean, this is so much to think about. And I don't know if you think about whether or not we can stop what's happening as humans. They're saying, you know, we did this, the experts, we did it as humans. It's our fault. We're cranking the gears too hard. We caused global warming and burning fossil fuels, and we're creating this heat dome. You know, can we stop it? I don't know. I'd like to try, so I'm doing my best. I don't drive as much. I'm trying not to run too many systems in the house. I'm trying not to pull from the grid. I'm trying to think of ways where I can get into a situation where, you know, we can grow more mindfully and be just better humans. So I think something I'm going to think about here, you guys, is I watch my beautiful garden growing and producing massive amounts of food for us. Now I have to focus on how I can change things to make the next season better. So I got to work on erecting structures that will properly house shade cloth, even if they're just some kind of like hoop houses without plastic, just with shade cloth, just to keep everything a few degrees cooler so the blossoms don't fall off. That's something we can think about. But you know, if you can't afford a hoop house, you can afford wood or tea stakes or anything just to get some shade cloth. I wish I would have bought big rolls of shade cloth now. But then you have to worry, the wind is going to come too, and the wind will just rip it to shreds. Maybe take your crops with it. So a lot to think about, you guys. So anyway, I'm going to go in and reflect on all of this, and I'm going to think about what it is that I can do to be a better human being on this day. And I hope you guys will consider the same, because when you may be a good person, you may love the people that are around you, and you do what you can, and you don't hurt anybody, and you don't lie, cheat, or steal. We have to ask what it is that we're doing to the planet as a living, breathing thing that we live on. We are guests here on this host. We are terrible company. Could you imagine somebody coming to your house, doing the things in your home that we're doing to this planet and its home as guests? Anyway, I thought I could just sit and cry in my hands today, you guys. So I'm going to drag this in. I'm going to go collect the rest of my green beans, and I'm going to go think. So thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me, you guys. To all of you who are following along, we're sending our love to you guys genuinely. I'll see you in the next video.